Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're talking about a topic that almost never gets honest attention: life, loneliness, and what it really means to live alone for a long time. Not the aesthetic version, but the lived one.
Hi, everyone. This is one of those conversations that makes people uncomfortable because it challenges popular advice we repeat without thinking. So, Anna, take it away.
This is something I've learned by living it. I'm 45 now, and I've lived alone for over a decade. No partner, no close friends, just long stretches of solitude. And I want to talk about what that actually does to a human being.
You often hear people say, be happy alone, love yourself, be independent. Did those ideas help you?
They sound empowering on the surface, but they ignore the body completely. No one talks about what actually happens in your nervous system when you are alone for years.
So it wasn't just emotional for you?
Not at all. When I go home to visit my parents, I feel it immediately. My body changes. It's like stepping out of a battlefield.
That's a strong image. What kind of changes do you notice?
My breathing slows down. My shoulders drop without me thinking about it. There's a deep physical relief, not just comfort. My nervous system finally settles.
So being with familiar people affects you physically?
Yes, and that's the key point. It's not just my parents. It's being in the same room with people I've known my whole life. Real, in-person conversations, no screens.
No texting, no delays, no excuses.
Right. No too busy to meet, no shallow small talk, just shared space and presence, and my body responds to that.
You're making an important distinction here. You're not comparing being alone to being around toxic people. You're comparing being alone to being around healthy people.
That distinction matters. Of course, being alone is better than being abused, but it's not optimal. Healthy, in-person connection is optimal.
You've lived alone for about 15 years now. Did the emptiness fade over time?
No. That's the part people don't want to hear. The emptiness doesn't go away. You can distract yourself, but your body still knows.
Some people say you get used to it.
I don't think we do, biologically. Studies show long-term isolation affects the brain. It increases early death risk. That's not weakness, that's biology.
So the body never fully adapts.
That's how it feels to me. Humans didn't evolve alone. We evolved in families, tribes, groups. From birth to death, we were surrounded by others.
Even historically, people weren't isolated.
True. Even if a tribe was destroyed, you were absorbed into another group. Total isolation is a modern invention.
Yet today, living alone is normal.
Especially after 40. If you're not a student, not a parent, not partnered, friends are busy for months at a time, and texting replaces real connection.
Some people say just go out more.
That ignores reality. If everyone else lives online, you still end up alone. One person can't fix a cultural pattern.
You're saying this isn't a personal failure.
Yes, it's a societal problem, a cultural design problem, and a lack of awareness problem.
But people avoid admitting that.
Because then we'd have to change something. Instead, we repeat phrases like, learn to love yourself alone. They sound wise, but they're incomplete.
Almost comforting cliches.
And biologically ignorant ones. Self-love doesn't replace human presence. It doesn't calm the nervous system the same way. The body needs other bodies.
Some people push back hard on that idea.
Yes, and I understand why. Some people genuinely prefer solitude, or they've had traumatic relationships. For them, being alone feels safer.
We saw responses like that. People saying they feel overwhelmed by others, that peace and quiet keep them healthy.
And those experiences are real. There are differences in nervous systems. Introversion, trauma, sensory sensitivity, those things matter.
So it wasn't just one rule for everyone.
No, but patterns still exist. Exceptions don't erase biology. At base, humans are social animals, even if we need different doses.
One commenter said being around people feels like coming back from war.
That tells you something important. That's a trauma-shaped nervous system, not a lack of humanity. Safety looks different for them.
Another person said they feel fine alone and don't need approval.
And that may be true for them, but my point isn't everyone suffers the same. My point is we need honesty. We need room for the full truth.
Especially for people like you.
Yes, if you've known healthy connection and then you experience long isolation, your body feels the loss.
One commenter said it perfectly. It's not just mental, it's the whole system.
That's right. Heart rate, sleep, tension, mood. Loneliness is stress on the body. That's not imagination.
Another man talked about achievements meaning nothing without people to share them with.
That broke my heart because it's honest. Meaning multiplies when it's shared. Otherwise, it echoes in empty space.
So, when society says just be strong alone, something important is missing.
Yes, strength doesn't cancel biology. Awareness doesn't erase need. We're not machines.
And pretending otherwise can make people feel defective.
That's true. If we can't talk about this honestly, we can't solve it. We just shame people into silence.
In the next part, I want to explore the tension here between self-love and social need.
And why both can be true at the same time. Why independence matters, but isolation still hurts. That balance is where the real conversation is.
That's part 2.
In part 2, I want to slow this down a bit. Because this conversation isn't about blaming anyone. It's about holding two truths at the same time. Self-love matters, and human connection still matters.
That tension is where people get stuck. They hear you need others and think it means weakness, or they hear love yourself and think it means isolation. So let me ask you directly, can both be true?
I believe they have to be. Loving yourself doesn't erase your biology. It just changes how you relate to your needs. It doesn't cancel them.
A lot of people respond with strong independence, almost like a shield. I don't need anyone. What do you think is happening there?
Sometimes it's genuine preference, but often it's protection. If needing others led to disappointment or pain, the nervous system adapts by shutting that door.
So independence can be a survival strategy.
Yes, especially for people who grew up with chaos or neglect. Being alone feels predictable. Predictability feels safe.
That explains some of the responses we saw. People describing anger or overwhelm around others. That doesn't sound like lack of empathy. It sounds like sensory or emotional overload.
Right. When your system is overloaded, solitude feels regulating. That doesn't mean humans aren't social. It means safety comes first. Always.
But then there's another group. People who function alone but whose bodies soften around trusted people. That's closer to your experience.
Yes. I didn't grow up in a chaotic household. I know what healthy presence feels like. So when it's missing, my body notices immediately.
That difference matters, because advice that works for one group can harm another, especially when it's repeated as universal truth.
That's my biggest issue with the cliches. They erase context. They erase nervous system history. They erase biology.
Let's talk about biology for a moment. You mentioned studies earlier. Brain changes, early mortality, that's serious.
It is. Chronic loneliness increases stress hormones. It impacts sleep, immune function, cognition. This isn't philosophy, it's physiology.
Yet culturally, we minimize it. We talk about loneliness like it's a mindset problem. Just think differently. But bodies don't work that way.
No, they don't. You can't positive think your way out of isolation. The body reads absence as threat, especially over long periods.
That's uncomfortable to admit because it suggests a collective responsibility, not just individual resilience.
And that's why it's avoided. If loneliness is structural, then society has to respond, and that's much harder than giving advice.
Especially now when adult life is fragmented. Work, family, screens, schedules. People don't gather by default anymore. Connection has to be planned.
And planning connection makes it fragile. If someone cancels, the whole thing collapses. There's no backup community.
Historically, that wasn't the case. You saw people daily by design. Shared meals, shared labor, shared space. Now everything is optional.
Optional connection sounds like freedom, but it often leads to isolation, especially for people without partners or children. They fall through the cracks.
This is where people say, well, make more friends. But adult friendship doesn't function like that anymore.
No, adults are exhausted. Their time is fragmented. Friendship becomes a calendar item, not a constant.
And texting replaces presence.
Which helps cognitively, but not somatically. The body doesn't calm from pixels. It needs real voices, real proximity.
Some people say, well, I talk to coworkers. Is that enough?
It can help, but it's not the same as being known. Work relationships are role-based. They rarely offer deep safety.
So there's a difference between contact and connection.
A huge difference. Contact fills time. Connection regulates the nervous system. Only the second one creates lasting calm.
This brings us back to self-love. Some commenters talked about being their own main character. That language is popular now.
I understand the intention behind it. Agency, self-worth, inner validation. Those are good things, but they can be taken too far.
How so?
Humans are not meant to self-regulate alone forever. We co-regulate. From infancy onward. That doesn't stop at adulthood.
So needing others doesn't mean you lack self-love.
No, it means your system is functioning normally. The danger is shaming that need. That's when people disconnect from themselves.
And when people disconnect long enough, they often become numb, which can look like strength.
Or preference. But numbness isn't peace. Peace feels alive, not flat. That distinction matters.
You're not saying everyone should live together, or that solitude is bad. You're saying prolonged isolation has a cost.
Yes, and that cost isn't evenly distributed. Some bodies carry it more heavily. Those voices deserve to be heard.
Especially as populations age, more people living alone into midlife and beyond. This isn't a niche issue, it's growing.
And silence around it makes it worse. People think something is wrong with them instead of seeing a systemic problem.
So what do you want people to take from this?
Honesty. Less moralizing about independence, more awareness of human limits, and more compassion for different needs.
Not solutions, not advice, just recognition.
Recognition changes everything. It reduces shame, it opens better conversations, and maybe better structures.
Final question. If someone is listening and feels seen by this, what would you want them to know?
That they're not broken. Their body is responding normally. Wanting healthy presence is not failure. It's human.
And for those who thrive alone?
Their experience is valid too, but it doesn't cancel anyone else's. We need room for multiple truths. That's how real understanding works.
That feels like a good place to land. Not certainty, but honesty. Not slogans, but lived reality. Thanks for sharing this, Anna.
Thank you for holding the space. These conversations matter more than we admit.